My name is Lindsay Olivarez. I'm one of the family law attorneys here at Udall Shumway. One thing that I get questions about quite often after the entry of orders or during the midst of a proceeding is how do we safely and effectively exchange our children for parenting time purposes. One of the things that I suggest is use the school as an exchange location if at all possible. I don't necessarily mean meeting at the school, but rather try to use school drop-off and school pickup as the beginning and ending of someone's parenting time. That way the two of you don't actually have to be face-to-face, and it's really a natural setting for your child. They can be dropped off like it's any other day, and they'll be picked up like it's any other day. Another thing to think about is if there is not significant violent history or conflict, but it's just uncomfortable potentially to see each other and you're concerned about what might be said during an exchange between the two parties, you may want to think about what's called a curbside exchange. That's when we can't use the school for some reason. Perhaps parenting time is being exchanged during the summer when school is not an appropriate place to exchange. So literally the parent who's picking up the child will park their car curbside to the other parent's home, and the child will walk out to the car. That requires the parent to stay in the car, and of course that means that the children will have to be of sufficient age where it's safe for them to walk from the front door to the vehicle. So this is maybe for older elementary school up through the end of high school. This certainly wouldn't be appropriate for babies or toddlers, and that will have to be done with at least the parent walking up to the front door. So to that extent that you have to actually be face-to-face with each other, keep in mind that your communication should be brief, only about the children, perhaps about an upset tummy or another matter about homework or something like that. But keep it brief, keep it polite, and keep it only about the information that has to be conveyed at that moment. Anything else should be reserved for email communications, things of that nature. Now, if there's a major history of domestic violence or even an order of protection in place, you will probably want to consider exchanging your children at a third-party location, such as a supermarket or Target or Walmart, something of that nature, or even at a police station. Now, being at a police station for exchanges is not meaning that an officer will actually be there at the time. They can be, of course, at a moment's notice, hypothetically, if there's a problem. But that's another place that's safe to exchange, especially for those folks who have a history of violence between the two of them, or there's a concern that there may be a violent action between the parties at the time of an exchange. Those are some tips for exchanging your children. If you have any other questions about this or any other matter pertaining to your family law case, please give us a call and we'd be happy to talk to you.